Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tear, where I've been featuring my personal top 3,000 rock songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. Today, I'm up to song number 2921, and that one is Lies by the Knickerbockers. I don't know if you guys have heard this song. It's really, it sounds a lot like the Beatles, and I'm pretty sure that's what the Knickerbockers were trying to do. There are some bands that are singers that sound a lot like other singers, and I know a lot of them try to sound like other singers. I mean, I think there were a lot of British bands, not even British, there were a lot of American bands too that tried to sound like the Beatles. And by the way, the Knickerbockers were American. Here's a picture of them. I mean, this picture almost looks like the Beatles. The Beatles had some pictures that look like this, where I'm sure you guys have seen. I think it's the cover of introducing the Beatles. It shows them, in front of a tall building, kind of like this, all smiling. So I think that not only were they trying to sound like the Beatles, they were kind of trying to look like the Beatles too. But the Knickerbockers, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about them before I talk about the song "Lies," and that was really their only hit, by the way. They had a minor hit, an additional "Lies." "Lies" went to number 20, I believe, in 1966. It wasn't a really big hit, but they had another hit that was even a smaller hit. It was called "One Track Mind." That came out, I think, either later '66, maybe '67, and that only went to number 45. So really didn't have any other hits. They were kind of a one-hit wonder, but I guess Dick Clark liked them. He put them on Where the Action Is for a couple years from 1965 to 1967. And there were a lot of American garage bands at that time. I think most of the ones I know at least were, I think, better than the Knickerbockers. They were a novelty group. They had kind of had that novelty shtick of imitating the Beatles, I think. But let me just get back to the song "Lies." I like it. I mean, if I didn't know better, I might have thought it was the Beatles when I first heard it because it sounds a lot like them. They did a really, really good job impersonating the Beatles. As a matter of fact, I think they even used the same guitar riff starting the song as the Beatles did, and "I Want to Hold Your Hand." Do 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 do. They do do, and then they sing "Lies, do 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 lies." I can't do it myself, but you have to hear the song to hear it. And they do their kinda screaming. I mean, it sounds like the early Beatles. The late Beatles were much more innovative, but the early Beatles, a lot of their songs sound like this. So they kinda captured the sound of the early Beatles, and they did it in a really good way, I think. And, other bands and artists that were kinda good impersonation bands, I'd say, Ready for the World, they did "Oh Sheila," which sounds a lot like Prince to me. First time I saw that song, I think I even thought it was Prince. And I actually liked them. I think I might have liked them even a little bit better than Prince. I was never a huge Prince fan, at least at that time I wasn't. Um, and I don't know. There was a group called New Edition that sounded a lot like the Jackson Five. There was what else? There was Ralph Donner did a couple Elvis impersonation songs. He sounded a lot like Elvis, I thought. So those are the main ones that come to my mind, and I guess I'd have to say the Knickerbockers were like that with Lies. I also thought the Dave Clark Five sounded a lot like the Beatles, but I don't think they were really trying to sound like the Beatles. I think they just did. So anyway, that's my profile on Lies by the Knickerbockers. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.